美國國會參議院多數黨領袖里德同其他9名嘅參議員響國會休會期間對中國進行咗1個星期嘅訪問。佢哋響4月20號響北京會晤中國副總理王岐山以及中國中央銀行行長周小川，討論貿易以及金融問題。參議院代表團4月21號同中國國家副主席習近平以及係中國人大常委會委員長吳邦國會晤。習近平被視為係中國下一任嘅領導人。呢一次美國參議員團訪華嘅重點在於經濟以及人權。參與嘅10名參議員嘅資歷深、人數多，都創落咗紀錄。響同中國官員嘅會面當中，美中雙方討論咗清潔能源、貿易、外交政策以及人權等等嘅問題。中國最近加強咗逮捕異議人士，其中包括著名藝術家艾未未，都係受到美國嘅關注。響結束同中國官員嘅會面之後，佢哋仲將會轉往西安以及成都參觀美國響當地嘅投資以及可再生能源項目。
Harry Reid is leading a Senate delegation through China this week. Do you think this is an important trip for senators to take?
Absolutely. I think that in general, our senators, representatives of the House, need to be as much educated on United States-Chinese relationships, so they can shape the overall policy for the United States for all aspects of our economic influence with China carefully.
Do you think your senator should go over there and inform his or herself about China?
Oh, definitely, because if my senator went over there and did it, he could inform me, his constituent, about it. That's the next level, is if I can't do it, somebody who I can get in touch with should. And somebody, I could easily go up to my state representative or my senators, I could easily get in touch with them. They could easily relay that information to me. So yeah, I think it's very important.
Why do you think this Senate delegation is taking an informational trip through China?
To say thank you for all of the money that they're giving us for our to run our government properly, considering that they have loaned us so much money. So it's nice to to pay a house call, I suppose, to just say thanks. I'm really not sure why I'm guessing they're going over just for diplomatic purposes.
China is a completely different environment in terms of ethnic relationships, in terms of cultural influences and such. Treating Chinese cultural influences with the same approach as treating Western cultural influences can have a really negative impact overall. And I think fundamentally, just from a cultural education, the senators and the House representatives can really learn by taking such an educational session.
Yeah, I think that it would be great to have our representatives be there. And what would I want him to do? I'd want him to help nurture a strong relationship between us and China, and help with various business benefits as well as humanitarian things.
They're planning to discuss somewhat thorny subjects involving economic issues and human rights. Within those topics, what do you think should be discussed?
What should be discussed is human rights, because there are a lot of things that, at least from my understanding of what happens in China, that are sketchy at best, as skirting the human rights issues. But I feel like that the Chinese would be more than happy to discuss economic things, all day long. But if we start touching on human rights, then that's when they're gonna be like, hey, about that $1 trillion you owe us. I feel like they would be more willing to, forgo that whole debt thing if we forgo that whole human rights thing. I think that's the trade-off that maybe they would want to go for.
I think economy in general is a huge issue. With the United States economy, slowly going through a resurgence due to the recession, and with China's economy outpacing United States growth in terms of GDP, United States will need to very carefully align our own economic strategies with Chinese strategies to benefit both countries at most.
Mostly human rights topics. I think people should discuss labor laws, and I think, if anything, that the U.S. can't build relationships and a stronger trade and just any type of relationship with China if we don't, as a people, know what's going on and with what their beliefs on those subjects are, and if they don't match up or are congruent with how we Americans view either of those topics, I don't really see it going any further.